Hello, I'm TheZOMBIEJ, and it's time for another video. It's time to shift gears a little bit, but before we do so, I need to address a comment. Just got a comment on my review of the new Dr. Pepper flavor. Bro, you are going to game end if you don't start fixing shit today! Listen, I don't need you to tell me how to do things. I've been eating very healthy meals as of late. And I've cut out soda entirely for like the past year. A can of Dr. Pepper as a treat is not going to kill me. So shut up, please. You're not making the situation any better. In fact, you're making it worse. With that being said, I'd like to shift gears and talk about childhood cartoons. I used to watch cartoons a lot. To be honest, I hate cartoons nowadays, except for one exception, but we'll get to that. I'm going to take you all the way back to when I was very little. I used to watch Barney. Yeah, I used to watch Barney. In fact, I was really little and I used to call him Banya. Embarrassing, I know, but hey, that's how I remember it. And if I recall, the show used to be fairly innocent back then, and so was Sesame Street. I used to watch Sesame Street. I kind of hate those shows now. Barney means nothing to me anymore. And Sesame Street is just, yeah, don't care about it. Then time went by, and I sort of moved on to the whole Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network side of things. What with SpongeBob, and yeah, I used to like SpongeBob. Got worse after the first couple seasons, in my opinion. My sister argues that the first 4 seasons were great. After that, it sort of went off the deep end. And wow. The show really is just... it's repetition in a single show. Over time, obviously, the visuals looked better. Well, that means nothing if the show still sounds the fucking same. Same ideas throughout the whole thing. Even the movie. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I used to like that movie. My sister liked David Hasselhoff for some reason. And, well, I didn't. So, yeah. That was a weird movie. It was stupid, though. Yeah, I hate SpongeBob nowadays, but my sister still watches it for some reason. Nostalgia, I guess. I understand that. There are other shows on Nickelodeon, such as... I'm trying to remember. It's hard to remember shows from Nickelodeon, what with all the live-action stuff that they have released. But SpongeBob was the one I remember the most, and it was really a pain in the ass to deal with in the past 10 years. What with the spin-offs, these other films, the show itself. It's a massive gold mine of what the fuck. So, yeah, I hate SpongeBob. And if you disagree with me, fuck you. Moving on to Cartoon Network. Yes, Cartoon Network is a big one. It really is. Oh yeah. Of course, we used to watch Blue's Clues, but I hate Blue's Clues. I really do. Fuck that show. I think that was Nickelodeon as well, but Cartoon Network. Ed, Edd, and Eddy. That was my shit back in the day. 5 seasons, plus a shorter 6th season, plus a movie. It ended with the movie. It's not available physically, which pisses me off. Ed, Edd, and Eddy, slapstick humor, all the way. It's just shit fucking gold to me. It really is. It's my most favorite cartoon of all time, and I just can't get enough of it. The movie was kind of disappointing in a way. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was also disappointing because I wanted more Ed, and Eddie. Why would they end the show? What the fuck? I love this show. It's better than SpongeBob in my opinion. At least SpongeBob lasted longer, but at the same time. But yeah, Ed and Eddie was my shit back in the day, and I enjoyed the living crap out of it. It was so much fun. The specials were fun too. I enjoyed the Halloween special. The Valentine's special was my least favorite, but the Christmas special was in between for me. Sometimes I flip-flop the Halloween and Christmas specials to get around because I can't decide which one I like more. I do get a lot of enjoyment out of that show. It's fucking awesome. There are other shows, obviously, like Kids Next Door, codename Kids Next Door. Yeah, that show was okay for the most part. There was a movie, I think, as well, but I kind of don't like Kids Next Door. I never truly liked it. I always felt it to be kind of pissy in a way. I always found it to be kind of lame. Then there was The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which, wow, what the fuck? We've got, like, eldritch horrors being injected into the show. You got the Grim Reaper himself, who's not really a good depiction of the Grim Reaper. I mean, seriously. You can't treat death as if he's not really that deathy. Yeah, I just don't like that show. My dad and my sister both love that show because it's just, and that show was made for kids. Sure, okay. And I think there was a film as well, but it didn't work well. Oh yeah, there was the Fairly Odd Parents from Nickelodeon. That was the only other one I remember, truthfully. And there's a sequel, and apparently it sucks. I just can't get behind it. My sister still watches it. I just don't like the Fairly Odd Parents. The live-action version! You can't take that show and turn it into a live-action version. It doesn't work. Seriously. There's a new cartoon nowadays called The Loud House, and it is annoying as fuck! There's a live-action version that's even worse! Why? Anyway, back to childhood cartoons. So, we got Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and that was entertaining for the most part. There's Teen Titans! For fuck's sake, Teen Titans was great! There should have been more of it! But then we got Teen Titans Go, and I was like, the fuck did they do to them? What did they do to these 5 heroes? Wow. Teen Titans Go is absolute shit. They got the same actors, obviously, but it doesn't matter if the show sucks. The original Teen Titans, though, the Teen Titans show from the 2000s, let's just say that. That was pretty good. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. The movie Trouble in Tokyo was pretty good, too. That was a nice way to sort of conclude the show. They were going to bring it back at one point if the movie for Teen Titans Go did well enough, and no surprise they didn't hold up to that. The movie was shit. It really was. I think there was a movie, actually. The show itself is garbage, though, but at least we had the 2000s output of Teen Titans, and I'm nostalgic for that one because I enjoyed it, but it had a great story, it really did. There are other shows that I'm blanking on, I can't remember. Those are all the ones that I remember. I know there are other modern cartoons like Adventure Time, and I don't really care about Adventure Time, to be honest. I know it apparently has the best lore, but you're wrong. Bionicle has the best lore, and that's not a TV show. Well, there's a Netflix series, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. Yeah, childhood cartoons for me were just kind of an interesting thing. There was a lot of fun stuff. But there was also some weird shit that I didn't really care about. There was some cartoons that just didn't really jive with me at all. Then with Cartoon Network, you got Toonami, which was the thing. They started doing anime stuff, and there was even the Hayao Miyazaki films, which were the month of Miyazaki. That's how I got into those films, like Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which is my favorite anime film, my favorite Studio Ghibli film, my favorite Miyazaki film. Nausicaa is great. That's how I got into anime to some degree, but it only got, I got further into anime come 2020. So, yeah. Cartoon Network was famous for a lot of great stuff, and Nickelodeon too, but there was a lot of live action shit that I just can't get behind when it comes to Nickelodeon, like iCarly and this what is the current thing? Danger something. Yeah, it's garbage. I don't get it. The current stuff they air nowadays is just there's some poorly written shit, and I don't believe that any of this should exist. It's just wrong to me. The Really Loud House, like, the Loud House wasn't bad enough. It was. It was horrible. And yet my sister likes it. Why? But the Really Loud House just takes those cartoon characters and makes them look like shit. Well, I mean, at least anime has been fairly entertaining for me. I actually enjoy anime way more than cartoons nowadays. I hate all cartoons. Japanese anime is superior. But I still have tremendous nostalgia for Ed, Edd n Eddy. That's my shit right there. I have the box set, the complete box set that was released like 3 years ago. It's not complete. It doesn't have the specials or the movie. You can't release a complete edition of Ed, Edd n Eddy without the specials of the movie. How dare you? Seriously, that's bullshit. At least I found the movie on the Internet Archive, but that's not the point. It should be released physically. Heathens. There were a lot of shows that I watched on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network that were, there were some ideas here and there that were kind of interesting, but other times there was, like, I think there was a show called Mad or something like that. That one didn't go over there very well. It's hard for me to remember any of the other cartoons that I used to watch, but the ones I did rattle off, you know, Ed, Edd n Eddy, SpongeBob. Oh, Danny Phantom was one as well. Yeah, Danny Phantom, the same creators as, the same studio as Fairly Odd Parents. It's the same visuals in a way, kind of. I think it's the same director as well, but yeah, Danny Phantom used to be interesting for me. I liked Danny Phantom. I don't anymore, truthfully. I got kind of bored of it and annoyed with it. There was a song that was pretty good from the one rocker ghost lady. I can't remember her name. Amber, whatever the fuck. That song is pretty good. I like that song. But the show itself suffered because, well, it basically looked like the Fairly Odd Parents was given a slightly darker tone to it with ghosts and whatnot, but yeah. It felt like it was piggybacking off of the designs and the art style of Fairly Odd Parents, and it just didn't last that long for me. Yeah, that's basically it for Danny Phantom. Yeah, there's not many other cartoons I can remember at this time. I'd have to have like a list of them from Cartoon Network, and well, we used to watch Tom and Jerry at least. That aired a lot. We've watched Tom and Jerry a lot. There's a lot of different specials of Tom and Jerry. There's a live action film with the cartoon characters put in there. It's like, what the flying fuck are they doing? What are they on? You don't put the cartoon characters in a live action film, have a live action cat and a live action mouse. You fuckers. You totally ruined the idea of a live action film. Well, Tom and Jerry used to be good. What else was there? It was My Life as a Teenage Robot. Yeah, that one was alright for the most part. I actually enjoyed that. Oh, God. There were some other ones. I know what one looks like, but I can't think of the name of it. That pisses me the fuck off. Yeah. Cartoons, they can be really questionable sometimes, but I used to enjoy the cartoons that I told you about. But sometimes you gotta grow up and realize the things you liked back then are just not that good anyway. At least I still like Ed, Edd n Eddy. I mean, every now and then I'll pop on an episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy on the DVD that I have, just to relive that era of my life, you know? It's definitely something that, it's a nostalgia thing for me with that show. I love that show. I can't get enough of it. I just really wish a sequel would come out, but they're not going to do that because fuck Cartoon Network. And, yeah, it would only go to Cartoon Network if they did do a sequel to it. I think there was crossover shows too. What did Billy and Mandy do a crossover with Kids Next Door? I don't remember, but and there was also some Transformers shows as well. There was also Marvel and DC stuff as well as the usual superhero nonsense. But I wasn't really heavily invested in those shows because I didn't care. I mean, really. So, I'm trying to think. God, it's really hard for me to remember certain shows from back then, but I pretty much rattled off the ones that I can remember. Oh yeah, and of course there's Scooby-fucking-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is good, I think. I mean, it dates back all the way back to the 1970s, I think. What was it, like 1975? That's an old cartoon and it's still going on. They're still making Scooby-Doo related stuff. Velma was apparently not that great. Scoob was apparently bleh. And they're still treating it as if it's a legendary show, and well, only the good portions of a show were legendary. Like some like the cartoons at least were good, except for Velma, except for Scoob, except for, you know, there was some stuff that was just kind of oddball and weird, and I didn't understand it. The two live-action films were alright. Kind of quirky, but that's the point. I have to say the special things, like the movies, like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, those were fun, you know? I'm not a big Scooby-Doo fan at all. My sister likes Scooby-Doo. I knew a girl in high school that liked Scooby-Doo. But, yeah, Scooby-Doo, it's alright. It's enjoyable, you know. I can pop on an episode of Scooby-Doo and enjoy it from time to time. But I choose not to, because Ed, Edd n Eddy is actually better for me. Shit, what else was there? Well, I know there was Adult Swim, and, well, that was for adults, and I kind of sneaked my way into watching Adult Swim at night, and I came across Robot Chicken. Yeah, Robot Chicken. Fucking Robot Chicken. God. damn. That show is hilarious. It's funny. There's a lot of claymation involved and other silly tactics to make you laugh. That's that. I think it was with Adult Swim is when some of the anime went on there, like, I don't know, Full Metal Alchemist, something like that. I don't know. But hell, even Naruto ended up on fucking Cartoon Network at one point until they quit doing that, which, you know, yeah, I don't care about Naruto. Sorry, Naruto fans, but the show just doesn't appeal to me. And Boruto is even worse. Fuck you. I mean, seriously. So, yeah. Adult Swim had some interesting shit. Oh, there was an old cartoon I remember called Johnny Bravo. That was funny. It was funny getting... It's funny watching Johnny Bravo getting beat the shit out of sometimes. It was just funny. There was other shows. God, I can't remember. I know there's a show called Metalocalypse, which used to be on Adult Swim, but I don't watch that. I've seen parts of it. It looked cool to me, kind of. I do remember the Bionicle movies ended up on Cartoon Network. Mask of Light, Legends of Metro Nui, Web of Shadows, all of those ended up on there at some point. I would watch them on there, but I already had the DVDs, so it was kind of fucking pointless. However, I think Nickelodeon was the network that had The Legend Reborn, and well, that was fine. The trailer that was created for the Nickelodeon airing of The Legend Reborn was a decently well-constructed trailer. But I have the DVD, and the DVD needs to be replaced, I feel. It's got a scratch going in like a half circle type of thing, but whatever, you know. So yeah, childhood cartoons. What are your favorite childhood cartoons? Give me a list of all the cartoons that were from like the late 90s, early 2000s. I know that there was some live action stuff that I missed, but I generally don't enjoy things like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, iCarly, Hannah Montana. I hate those shows, to be honest. There's a dark side to those shows in the production, and I just don't enjoy them to begin with. Those shows really did nothing for me, there are other shows that are in the live action realm that could have been great, but they were cheesy, like Galador. Yeah, there was a Galador TV series. I tried watching it. My mom wouldn't let me at the time. Now that I have the full first season, it's like, well, I guess I can watch it any time now. Kind of don't want to because I heard some things about it, and, well, I shouldn't let that really dissuade me from watching it, but, you know. Galador might be interesting, but you never know. Well, that's basically all I can remember at this point. Sorry about the dogs barking. But, yeah, childhood cartoons. They're definitely a thing. And there's a lot of them out there. And there was definitely way more cartoons out there than the ones I rattled off. But I just can't remember. I probably should have pulled up a list on Wikipedia or something like that. But yeah, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, and also Boomerang when that was a thing. That's when that's what Tom and Jerry was on. And there was another one that I can't remember. That was on there as well. There were a lot of shows that were on Boomerang. Oh, Cartoon Network, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog. That's an ironic name, don't you think? The dog's name is Courage, yet he's a coward, but he's still able to save the day. It made no sense. But that was fun. Eustace was kind of an ass. But yeah, that shit was funny to watch sometimes. But there are so many other shows that I just can't remember right now, and maybe my mind is stuck somewhere else, but who knows. What are your favorite cartoons from those days? Late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, 2010s even. Early 2010s at least. I know there's some Lego shows that were released as well. Mostly in the 2010s, there was Ninjago and there was Nexo Knights and Legends of Chima. And, well, in 2016, we got Bionicle, The Journey to One. So, you've got options. In terms of, there are plenty of options for Lego films and short films and shows. There's an abundance of them. It's just, which ones do you really want to watch? Also, Lego Dreams is a current show that's going on. There's probably going to be a third season, and it's probably going to suck. But yeah, that's basically all I have for this video. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know down in the comment section below what your favorite childhood TV shows were. I know there was other shows like Barney and Sesame Street I could have mentioned, but I can't remember anything else from those networks. Arthur. Yeah, Arthur. I don't like Arthur, to be honest. That was a cartoon I didn't really just jive with at all. I watched it anyway because it was nostalgia, It was a nostalgic cartoon. That and the Rugrats. Yeah, and the Wild Thornberrys. There you go. I just remember those. I remember those. They were not that great to begin with, and to be honest, yeah. They're not worth going back to. The only cartoon that's worth going back to nowadays for me is Ed and Eddie. And I've said it multiple times already, but I just love that show. It's the best. It really was. It was better than anything else that Cartoon Network was shitting out back then. But and even Nickelodeon couldn't compete with Ed and Eddie. They had SpongeBob, and well, that lasted for decades at this point. Yeah, Samurai Jack was another one. Yeah, that was pretty good. But there was the last season that was. I never really kept up with Samurai Jack, to be honest. I watched what was aired on Cartoon Network, but I didn't watch the last season. It was rushed, I heard, and so therefore I chose to avoid it like the plague. But yeah, if I've forgotten any cartoons from Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, the Boomerang, leave those in the comment section below. I know there are probably some big ones that I'm forgetting, but hey. I'm 30 years old. Bite me. Stay tuned for more videos. I am TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks later. Have a good fucking day, and peace.